All right, what is up, guys? This is Joseph with the Utah Utes Football Digest. Uh, Excited to be back on doing the live stream. I'll kind of post the video out to the different Facebook pages and Twitter and all that while I wait for all you guys to get in here. Give me 1 second here to get that all opened up. As you guys jump into the chat, make sure you say hi. Excited to have you here. All right. Thanks for tuning in, guys. I am just sharing the video right now. And then right after I do that, we're going to start breaking down Gabe Reid's film. So should be a fun night tonight. The combine's just finishing up with Devin Lloyd and Nephi Sewell. Lots of good there. We'll kind of break it down. Not all of it's good, but we'll see how that all plays itself out. And if you guys could just let me know that I'm coming through loud and clear, audio wise, and all that. Make sure it's sounding good. All right, just bear with me here, guys. By the way, while I'm getting all this done, I am just getting back from Florida. I was in Orlando for a full week there, just kind of going out there with my family. It was my son's first trip to Disney World. We also went to Universal Studios, so a lot of fun. We had a good time. All right, now. So we tag Gabe Reid. Maybe he'll share it. Who knows? Probably not, but let's see. Gabe Reid. Yeah. All right, I just posted it there to Twitter. All right, what's up, Gabe? Gabe Horsley. I don't think you've ever had Gabe. Have you ever been in one of the live chats before here? If not, man, really glad to have you here. Thanks for stopping by. All right, I'm just gonna share it to Facebook as well. Wow. All right, boom. So I got another 5. Okay, cool. Okay, well, excited to have you here, man. It sounds like you've been watching the videos for a while now, man. Glad to have you. And those of you guys that are in the chat, everyone's here. Make sure you guys like the video so more people see it. Also, make sure you guys jump into the chat. That's what makes this fun, guys. If you just sit there and don't say anything, it's not as fun. I appreciate you guys jumping in. In a minute, I'll go on my monologue and kind of talk a little more about Gabe Reid. But for now, while we're getting settled in, I would love to hear from you guys. Maybe those of you guys that are new, feel free to jump in. Gabe, yeah, I'm going to touch on that, like the specifics of how everybody did in the combine here in a little bit. But yeah, there's some good and some bad for everybody, and I'll kind of just touch on that here in a second. Did I already post here? All right. No, I don't think so. And while I'm finishing posting all these guys, I think one thing you guys are going to be excited about is Gabe Reid. I'm sure. Does everybody here know that we got Gabe Reid, the transfer from Stanford? I'm sure the majority of you guys know about him coming over. I wasn't that familiar with him. I felt like I had seen him when we played Stanford, and I just recognized number 90. But pulling him up, he's actually he's really not just some guy. He's actually pretty damn good. So I think you guys will be excited to get him in here. And really, there's not too much tape to break down with Gabe Reid. But the actual just breaking down his like PFF grades. We've got a bunch of years of PFF grades to break down and kind of see what he's all about. So that should be pretty fun. And really, he should be someone you guys are excited about as a player. Gabe Reid isn't just some, like I said, he's not just some random guy, right? He's pretty damn good. All right, boom. All right. All right, I think this one will be the last post, and then we will get started. All right. All right, cool guys. Well, it looks like we are good to go here, and let's go ahead and jump in. So, it's Joseph, guys, back with the Utah Utes Football Digest, the weekly, live chat that we do. Usually we do it on Fridays. Tonight it's going to be on a Saturday night. I'm sure a lot of you guys have, more exciting stuff to do, but some of us, we like to spend our evenings in talking a little bit of football. So, should be a good time. Let's go ahead and start off with Gabe Reid. I'm going to pull him up here on the screen. Excuse me. All right. All right, so check him out, guys. Gabe Reid out of American Fork, Utah, 5th-year senior. A guy that he's an outside linebacker. PFF has him labeled as an edge rusher, and pretty damn solid player. And it's kind of like when we break down the accomplishments here. Let's zoom it in a little so you guys can see it a little better. Maybe one more. Boom. Okay. So check it out. One thing, you got to love that Pac-12 all academic honorable mention in 2018. So a few years ago, but still very impressive. And you got to remember, too, the Pac-12 academically is, it's a tough place. Obviously, it doesn't actually help him on the field, but it should tell you that he's a level-headed guy and takes his college athlete status seriously. So we take a look here as a 5th year. So this was his past year. So I guess this will be his 6th year when he comes over to Utah. That's wild. Defensive player of the game, week 5 against Oregon. That was when they upset Oregon big time last season. Appeared in all 12 games, started 11, finished fourth on the team with 62 tackles. Team high, so he led the team in tackles for loss. Not that that's saying much with that that Stanford team last year. They weren't exactly special, but he had 10 tackles for loss. Is pretty awesome. Half a sack, you'd like better than that. But if you look right next to the half a sack, you'll see that he also had 8 quarterback hurries, 1 interception, 3 pass breakups. The hurries are really what matters. This is one thing I've learned with football over, watching it and studying it for a long time, that the sack number can be misleading. With sacks, you could just get lucky and get a bunch of sacks because someone else caused pressure or and then they just ran into you. With hurries, a hurry is when you are the one that gets in the backfield and gets the quarterback off rhythm. So yeah, it's more exceptional when you finish them all in sacks, but a guy could have 8 hurries and 8 sacks. That's way less impressive than 16 hurries and 5 sacks, if that makes sense, guys. Yeah, hurries are they're a really important number. Anyways, had a career day against Oregon, like it says there. I'm not going to go down every single career accolade for Gabe, but just a really good player, guys. A guy that we should be excited to have, especially with this losing Mika Tafua. It's a tough shot for the team. So bringing in a good edge rusher like Gabe Reid is exciting and should get you guys feeling good about this defense. And another thing is, he's a sixth-year senior or whatever he is. So when we consider that, you also got to remember he's going to bring a little bit of that veteran presence, right? He'll be a guy that can actually come in here, command the defense, and kind of lead the charge on that, right? All right, and now let's go ahead and take a look at Gabe Reid's numbers or his PFF grades. I know a lot of you guys like when we do the PFF grade breakdowns here. Let's put it up on the screen. All right, boom. Gabe Reid. All right, bam. All right, you guys should be able to see this. Let's take a look. Okay, so check him out. Gabe Reid, guys. 6'2", 238 pounds, redshirt senior, draft eligible in 2023. And if you check out this, the last year, the 2021 snaps, basically almost all at edge, a little bit at linebacker, a little bit, I guess, some other random stuff. But really he plays, it says it's slot corner. It doesn't sound like a slot corner to me. But check it out, 532 reps at D-line. That means he's playing on the edge. That means we're getting an edge presence here, guys. And 8 hurries, like we said last year, half a sack, but don't let that underwhelm you on Gabe Reid. So take a look at these numbers, right? So 2020, not great. 62, but just to be clear, 62 is not terrible. 62 is like okay. It's like below average, like slightly below average. And then 2019, he had a 65.1 grade. And that's, again, a little like right at average. And then 2018, it was a banger for him, a 69 grade, which is a little above average. And then last year with the 73.5, Gabe Reid did very well last year. 2021 with that 73.5 grade, that's how I would describe that grade is an impact, right? A very good player, like a guy that you can kind of rely on. And check it out, guys. Check out his grades here. So 73.5 overall last year. Run defense grade was a 69.6. Pass rush grade is 75.5. You got to love that, right? College football, especially the Pac-12, lots of scrambling quarterbacks, lots of high-flying offenses. Having a guy that with a 75.5 pass rush grade should get you excited. That means he's gonna get back there and disrupt the passer. Also, a very good coverage grade. A guy like Morgan Scalley is probably excited to use a guy like Gabe Reid because you can use him in a lot of versatile ways. Use him in the run, use him to rush the passer, use him in coverage. I mean, that should be exciting for all of us. So kind of just there's not too much, like I said, there's not too much film on Gabe Reid. He's been in college for quite a few years. So there is, like, I found his huddle profile and I'm able to find that tape. But realistically, that doesn't tell us anything about, where he is now, if that makes sense, guys. It's so long ago that I don't think it'll directly reflect what we're seeing now, right? But on that note, that is Gabe Reid, guys. We kind of touched on him. I know a lot of you guys are still trickling in. Gabe Reid, 6'2", 238 pounds, out of Stanford, a 60-year guy. So a veteran presence is coming in. Also, very good PFF grades. You can check them out there on the screen. Pass rush, run stop, does it all. But on that note, that is going to be it for Gabe Reid, guys. But to be fair, before I move on from him, I just want to say that he is probably a guy we're going to expect to make an immediate impact next year. He's a 60-year guy. We're not grooming him. We picked him up to come in here and to play and to look really good. But on that, we're going to move on to the next point of discussion tonight, which is going to be the 2 Utes that were in the combine. So we're talking about Devin Lloyd and Nephi Sewell. Before we dive into that, guys, just make sure you guys like, comment, subscribe. Liking the video gets it out to more people. Commenting, I love having you guys in here. That's why I do the live chat. So far, it's just Gabe and ICR in the chat. So make sure you guys drop a comment. Did you agree with my assessment of Gabe if you've been watching so far? If you guys watched the combine, do you think Nephi Sewell and Devin Lloyd boosted their stock, or do you think it might have lowered it? And I'll kind of touch on my thoughts here in a minute. But yeah, make sure you guys like the video, join in on the chat, and if you really like the channel, seriously subscribe. It means a lot, and I love making the content for you guys. So let's go ahead and take a look at them. Boom. All right. I'm going to share it up on the screen here. We're going to take a look at Devin Lloyd first. So if I was going to say coming into today, right, with Devin Lloyd, I would probably put Devin Lloyd as a guy that was going to be in the top 20. I think that's fair. You guys tell me if you agree with that. I'd say coming into today, Devin Lloyd was a top 20 kind of guy. Not a lock to be in the top 10. I wouldn't be surprised if he goes in the top 10, but I think he's going to go somewhere between 15 to 20. It's kind of tough to know the exact spot he's going to go in, right? All right, cool. I was looking at this on my phone earlier. It's running a little laggy on the website here. Okay, so here he is, Devin Lloyd. A 6.38 grade according to Lance Zierlein. So I was looking, I don't know why it's taking so damn long to load. Okay, here we go. Now you guys can see it, right? We can see Devin Lloyd. Okay. If you guys want, as we break this down, you guys tell me which team you think picks up Devin Lloyd and where you think he gets drafted. All right, so taking a look at Devin Lloyd, a 6.38. Basically, that means he will eventually be a very good starter. That's what I think he best fits. Starter to me.
I want to put his hand on the ground, put him off on the edge, and let it go.
Player, right?
Here's Devin Lloyd going.
All right.
4.71 for the Utes.
So very solid player. Check him out here. So today he ran a 4.66.
Phenomenal
bench press was
leadership, what you want from
vertical
that position. My comparison was Darius Leonard when I watched
Honestly,
him on
guys,
tape.
all of those are numbers.
Talked about that a little bit when you put these numbers up side by side.
They're all
there you
really
go.
solid numbers by Devin Lloyd.
He's a little bit stronger, but the 40, and you can't tell me when you watch Darius Leonard play.
No doubt.
The same with Devin Lloyd. I thought his freshman year, he jumped on the scene. He was big and was kind of a real physical point of attack player. And then because of that move to linebacker, he lost a lot of weight. And it looks like he's put that weight right back on as we watch Devin Lloyd here go through this drill.
My numbers, I'll pull him back
in this drill. Devin Lloyd, on the other hand,
where
he won't be asked to do that. Playing off the ball, you saw him in coverage, couple pick sixes.
His length
at Utah, he's comfortable.
Bench press.
In this
that was
environment.
Impressive to me.
Those
I don't know if you guys saw that today, but Devin Lloyd
put him side by side. We talked about.
I think that was one of the big
Fred
questions.
Warner, Darius Leonard, and here's Devin Lloyd. And you stack him up with those guys. Very similar.
A guy by the name of Cameron Wembley.
Absolutely, I do.
Yeah,
those Browns days.
So he's related to Drake, and that's how I first met Drake in Cleveland. Where Drake was a little boy.
Fluid. Strong and really looks like a first-round linebacker.
You know, lining up over the guards or something, and they're running like a mic.
Like
they're everywhere. It's loud.
I
think they've recruited.
Yeah, 6.38.
What was wrong with that?
Dropping the ball. Now you're going to make me
had it for a second, and then he put it down on the ground. That looked like the gauntlet to me.
You never miss an opportunity to take your shots at the gauntlet.
Where's the audio playing on?
What's calling cards? They use them in so many different ways.
What are you talking about?
Here he is today. The 40, I'm sure he wants to run a little bit faster. They're in the low 4.7s, but again, the play speed is much better. Here he is going through the bags.
I'm not seeing any audio. I got everything muted.
Those long
I'll
arms.
try to mute everything. We'll just see if that helps.
See him really working here, changing direction. Shuffle, sprint, and finish.
But anyways, moving along.
Love seeing him compete
Devin
today.
Lloyd
He's one of
here,
those guys you thought, okay, is he going to
really
do
good.
everything? And absolutely
Devin
he
Lloyd
is,
wasn't
competing
as
all the way through the
interesting
entire
coming into the day
workout.
as Nephi Sewell is.
Solid day here for Devin.
Devin Lloyd's a really good player. I think today he established himself. Redshirt senior, right? I'm going to say that Devin Lloyd is going to be right where I had him. I think he's top 20, and it's not that he doesn't deserve to be a top 10. I just think a lot of teams are hesitant to pick up a linebacker so early.
Time to lift a little bit.
With Devin Lloyd, let's take a look at the combine.
That is not bad at all.
It's weird that you can hear the NFL commentators. I have it muted. You said you can you still hear him?
Brother doesn't get an invitation.
Maybe I'll mute this video.
You had an open invitation.
All right, is that helping? Is that better? Anyways, so with that, I think he's going to be a guy that goes pretty early, right? Let's see if we can pull up the draft here. NFL draft order. I'm going to pull up the draft order, and we can take a look at which teams are picking within that top 20 and where he might go, right? All right, so this is Devin Lloyd. Just to be clear, like I said, I think he's going to go in the top 20, and I'd honestly be just flabbergasted if he doesn't go in the first round. I'm sure you guys, just as much as I do, hear tons of hype about Devin Lloyd. Like, he's not the number one guy people are talking about, but he's definitely a guy that people believe is going to be a first rounder. Tom Moya just hopped in. Good evening. Good to have you here, Tom. Thanks for tuning in. Earlier we talked about Gabe Reid. Now we're talking about the combine results for Devin Lloyd and Nephi Sewell. But good to have you here, man. Oh, good now, P-Dog. Great to hear. Great to hear. All right, and with that, we're looking at the NFL draft order. All right, so NFL draft order, which teams have picks from 1 to 32. I'm going to pull it up for you guys here. So let's go down each team. I'm going to share it on the screen. Give me 1 second. P-Dot, what do you mean by that? You think the 4.66 has some people rethinking him? Like he was faster, that's faster than they thought he would be, or you think that's slower than they thought he would be? All right. All right. I'm going to share it on the screen right now so we can all see it. All right. All right, so take a look, guys. So I'm actually going to skip through the first 5. We'll start at number 6. I just don't think it's realistic that anyone's going to pick up a linebacker in the first 5 picks. That's just where I'm at with that. So let's take a look. So the first team is the Carolina Panthers. So Carolina Panthers are kind of desperate. P-Dod, you're saying you think that's slower than they thought he would be? So I'd tell you this. His agility drills looked fantastic. His on-field drills looked really good. His bench press was actually higher than I think a lot of people thought it would be. So maybe that's slightly slower, but I would say people probably thought he was mid 4.5s to late 4.5s, right, to early 4.6. So I would say that with a 4.66, I think it's like, okay, he's fast enough to get it done, and then he proved that he's strong enough to get it done. So honestly, P-Dod, if you go back and if you did watch the entire combine, especially the agility drills and like the on-field stuff, he looked really, really good. I think tonight actually helped Devin Lloyd's status. So that's where I'm at with that. So, or at least kept it where it was. Carolina Panthers, not going to be a fit for Devin Lloyd. New York Giants, I'd say this is the first spot where someone could get Devin Lloyd, right? I think they have a pretty good linebacker right now, but they have 2 picks in the top 7, and they could make a move, right? They could go for it, try to get a guy like Devin Lloyd. Not the most likely, but I'd say that's the first spot where you've got Devin Lloyd, in question. I don't think Devin Lloyd is the first Ute to go to the first round. There's been a couple Utes that went in the first round. I believe Garrett Bowles, the offensive lineman that went to the Broncos a few years ago, was a first rounder, but you guys can double check me on that while we keep going through the teams. So Atlanta Falcons, a team that could go for it, right? I actually wouldn't be surprised if the Falcons go quarterback. They're paying Matt Ryan a lot of money, but a lot of these quarterbacks this year are developmental. If I'm the Falcons, I'm going to trade back, and I'm going to try to get one of these quarterbacks in like the middle to late part of the first round, and then use that, keep that quarterback for a year under Matt Ryan. So once Matt Ryan's gone, I have someone pretty serviceable to replace him, right? So Broncos, another situation where we could be looking at a quarterback, but I don't see Devin Lloyd going here. I really think this is going to be a quarterback right here. P-Dot, Garrett Bowles went in the first. Yeah, like I was saying, Garrett Bowles went in the first. I don't know if he's the only Utah player to go in the first, but yeah, he did go in the first. So Denver Broncos, I don't see them picking Devin Lloyd. It could be in the conversation, but I don't see it. So this next one, this is actually my team, the New York Jets. That's my pro team, if you guys are not aware. All right, so take a look at the Jets. So the Jets could go linebacker here. It is a need of the Jets. I'm very in tune with what the Jets need. But the issue, again, guys, it's not that Devin Lloyd's not better than a lot of the guys that might go in this range. It's that Devin Lloyd, he's a linebacker. If you're picking him up with the intent to play edge, then I could see him going to the Jets. I would not be mad at all if he went to the Jets here. There's a lot of good players right here, but Devin Lloyd's, a really good player in my book. So I don't think it's going to happen, but you never know. All right, and then we take a look at the Washington football team. This has been a team for a while now that has a super good offense or a super good defense for like the past 2 years with kind of a lackluster offense, not super impressive offense. I think they're going to go offense with this pick. I don't see Devin Lloyd going here. I don't know what that means, what they're going to pick on offense, but they're going to pick something. Maybe a quarterback, maybe a offensive line or wide receiver. Just I don't see them going with Devin Lloyd here. All right. Yeah, again, Vikings. I don't see the Vikings picking a middle linebacker. Browns, maybe, but they got, they have some pretty good linebackers over there. I know they have Jeremiah Owusu-Koramoah from Notre Dame. But they might actually go quarterback. Who knows, right? Baker Mayfield's had some big struggles, and I wouldn't be shocked to see them go quarterback. All right. Baltimore Ravens, I think aren't they the ones that got Patrick Queen a few years ago? I'm pretty sure they have Patrick Queen and he's only been there a few years. But okay, so this is probably the team I'm going to circle that is the most likely to get Devin Lloyd. The Philadelphia Eagles. So check them out here, guys. They have the number 15 pick. But also don't forget they could like Nakobe Dean more. I'm not saying, yeah. Pete Odd says Philly fans are obsessed with Lloyd. I agree. I see it all the time, right? The Philly Eagles fans are always talking about Devin Lloyd, which is a good thing for Devin. I don't think it's a bad fit. I actually think he's a better fit for them than Nakobe Dean is. Nakobe Dean is more of like a short, thick, like smack you in the mouth kind of guy that provides a pass rush presence. I think Devin Lloyd's more of a long, lanky, versatile, do-it-all kind of guy. That's what I think when I see Devin Lloyd. So, all right, but anyways, the next we're going to look at, so honestly, I'm going to go ahead and you can look here. The Saints could pick him. I don't think so, though. I think they're going quarterback, too. Same with the Steelers. Honestly, as I look through this, it makes me feel like it might be realistic that he could slip out of the top 20 just based on who's picking. Yo, if you get Devin Lloyd in the second round, talk about a steal. That would be nuts. If he's there at pick 35 when the Jets pick in the second round, I'm going to be screaming at the TV for them to pick Devin Lloyd. That would make watching the Jets so much more fun, having Devin Lloyd there and watching the Jets. That'd be a good time. Hey, and all you guys that are just jumping in, make sure you guys like the video, comment in the chat here. We have a lot of fun. Make sure you guys interact with us. Kind of why we like doing this. And if you guys really like the content, make sure you subscribe to the channel. It means a lot, and I like having you guys here.
So that's really what
all right, and then let's go ahead and go to the next player that is going to be that was at the combine today, linebacker Nephi Sewell. Now, I think Nephi Sewell had his work cut out for him today.
Find him
okay,
perfect.
and I want to just, before we dive into everything, I want to just, you're good, P-Dog. Comment as much as you want. I'm not going to stop you. But with that, so let me mute this. I hope you guys can hear me. Boom. All right. Okay. I'm just getting Nephi Sewell pulled up. Right after I pull him up, I'll share the screen. Okay, so Nephi Sewell. So, guys, Nephi Sewell is a guy that was playing safety before, right? He doesn't have the largest frame, especially for a linebacker. And when you consider that in, he kind of needed a big day today in order to raise his draft stock. Let's go ahead and take a look at Nephi Sewell after today. So check him out, a 5.6, draft grade according to Lance Zierlein. I think that's a little strong, but I also want to be realistic with you guys. There could be a lot more to be desired. I mean, at the beginning of the year, I remember when we first got into the season, Nephi Sewell made a ton of plays and looked like a beast. But as time kept going throughout the season, there were some real struggles. And, it was just sometimes he would just disappear for a game. And when you see a 5.6, you look at the description of what that means. Candidate for bottom of the roster or practice squad. That's not exactly a day one, day two kind of pick, right? And I love Nephi Sewell. I wish he was going a little higher, but you look at that 40-yard dash there, that 4.67. For a guy at his size in the NFL, 5'11", 226 pounds, you probably wanted a little more, right? Like you're not expecting a guy that's going to smash into offensive linemen, but you want a guy that can fly around the field, can make things happen. And that's not what a 4.67 is. When you're talking about straight line speed, a 4.67 for a linebacker is average. And when you have Nephi Sewell's size, you can't have average speed. And not to mention, you guys look at the bench press, you see how it's just 2 dashes instead of a number. That means he elected not to compete in the bench press, which tells you, because for him, if he had a good bench press, he absolutely should have done it. And I'm sure his agent told him not to do it because he had a bad bench press, and it would have been probably pretty bad and hurt his stock more than it helped it. So when we see him not even do the bench press, I think you really got to consider that if I'm an NFL team, it's like, okay, this guy could be, if I'm a zone system, he could be a nickel corner, or he could be an in-the-box type of safety. But I'm not going to man him up one-on-one with fast NFL guys and expect him to come out on top. And so, when you see it says 5.60, candidate for bottom of the roster of the practice squad, not that I completely agree with that, but it's hard not to understand where he's coming from, right? Let's go ahead and take a look at the player bio here. All right. So you take a look at the player bio. Undersized linebacker, lacking the physical traits necessary to warrant rundown consideration. Sewell is a gamer, but gets overwhelmed by size at the point of attack. He has the quickness to get to plays, but his lack of length is going to leave him on the wrong end of tackle attempts. The former safety is instinctive and ranging in zone coverage and will need to prove himself as a nickel or dime linebacker to become an NFL player. Yeah, that's how I feel too, right? He's going to need to – obviously, I feel like that – some of this guy's comments are a little harsh on Nephi Sewell. But overall, I agree. If he wants to play in the NFL with this athletic profile, he's going to need to do it as some sort of dime linebacker, nickel linebacker, a nickel corner type of thing, or an in-the-box safety. And even in the box safety, his run grade went down quite a bit at the end of last year. So extremely active and athletic. I thought this was kind of a harsh critic. Puffed up safety, playing right linebacker, reject level arm length for linebacker. And it really is true, guys. You look at some of those numbers for like arm length and everything for Nephi Sewell. It doesn't look great. Let's pull it back up here. So arm length, 29 and 3/8 inch arms. Usually what they say, if in the NFL, like combines and stuff, they want 33-inch arms. And I know, like, it's just like they say big hands for quarterbacks, this and that. But, we got the slower speed for a smaller linebacker. We have the vert, which is solid, broad jump solid. But you want – if you're going to draft a guy that's 5'11", 226 pounds in any meaningful round, you're going to want an extreme athlete or a huge hitter, right? You want a guy that makes an impact. And right now, with what we saw from Nephi Sewell today, that's just not where he's at. And I don't want you guys to take this the wrong way and think I'm hating on the guy. I wish the absolute best for Nephi Sewell. I hope he gets on a team and kills it. But after today, I think it's pretty clear that Nephi Sewell's more going to be a late day 3 kind of guy. And, that's not what I like to say. I'd love to say that Nephi Sewell killed it in the combine. Honestly, when I was watching the combine today, I was thinking if Nephi Sewell could get, 20 bench reps and then low 4.5s for his 40, he would hop up. He would be someone that I would have been saying he's looking like day 2, which is second and third round. But right now with this athletic profile, I think we're looking late day 3. And, who knows what could happen. But just based on what we're seeing today with what Nephi Sewell did, not something I'm excited to see. I like him a lot. Just, he's probably going to be late day 3 to undrafted, which, it is what it is. I think he's definitely going to be on an NFL team and get a shot to prove what he can do. But he didn't crazy impress in the Senior Bowl. Combine was a little underwhelming. So, is what it is. But with that, guys, a lot of things to look forward to. We actually have a lot of Utes that are going into the draft. So super exciting there. I wish we could have seen Britton Covey at the combine today. I also wish we could have seen guys like Nephi Sewell or, who else is going in? Nick Ford. Nick Ford wasn't at the combine, but a lot of guys there. I can brush back up before we get out of here. I can kind of go over all the guys that I can think of off the top of my head. So Cole Fotheringham, he didn't get an invite to the combine. I was a little confused on why he declared. I don't know if he had to declare or he did it optionally because he was just like the low man on the totem pole, and maybe he felt like he didn't have a role in the offense next year. But I don't think that. I think he just wanted to go pro. I don't understand it, but I would say Cole Fotheringham, another guy, late day 3, right? I watch a lot of stuff because the Jets are considering drafting a tight end pretty early. No one even mentions Cole Fotheringham's name. And that's not a shot at him. I'm just saying I don't see him going anywhere in the first 2 days. Late day 3, 6th, 7th round. Wouldn't be surprised if he goes undrafted too. Britton Covey. There's so many good receivers this year. You guys watched the wide receiver combine. It was nuts. There was so many 40s that were under a 4.4. And obviously that's not everything. But when you have like solid, good players that are running under a 4.4, it means a lot. It means that they're, a good football player that's super fast too. So I think Britton Covey's really got his work cut out for him after the combine. It was a lot of good players. But I also think a lot of people saw Britton Covey in the Rose Bowl. Very impressive guy. I think Britton Covey is a late day 3 to undrafted guy, but I could see him going higher if a team just says, damn it, I really like this kid. Let's take a shot on him. Like I have him graded in the 5th round or the 4th round. And I'm gonna take a shot. So I could see that happening too. Mika Tafua is a really weird one. I don't know what is going on with him because his grades are really good. He didn't get an invite to the combine. As far as I can tell, didn't play at all in the East-West Shrine Bowl. He was listed on the roster and then he wasn't. I don't know what happened there. And a guy that I was really excited about and thought could be like a mid to late day 2, so end of the 2nd, end of the 3rd round kind of guy, but it was just falling off the face of the earth. I wonder if he has personality problems. I'm not trying to say he does. I'm just wondering what happened and why this guy is just not even being considered. His name isn't brought up by anybody. It's really weird, and he was a pretty damn good edge rusher last year for the Utes, especially that second half of the year. He killed it. Anyone else that is declaring for the draft from the Utes that I'm missing that you guys could think of? Yeah. Anyways, but, lots of good players there to look forward to, guys. For the Utes, next year we got Gabe Reid coming in. Super exciting. We also have Nephi Sewell. Like I said, should be a late day 3 guy. Devin Lloyd, the exact opposite. Should be a mid to late 1st round kind of guy. And that's not about Devin Lloyd's talent. Devin Lloyd's a top 10 talent to me. It's about need and positional value. If someone wants him as an edge, though, I could see someone taking a shot on him and moving him to edge. But at the same time, it's a really good edge rusher class. So we got to see what happens there. But on that note, guys, those of you guys that are still here, make sure you guys like, comment, subscribe to the video. Really glad to have you here. Seriously, it means a lot, and I love doing these videos. Before we get out of here, I want to just open up the chat. If you guys have any other questions, I'll stay for another few minutes. Seriously, feel free to drop any questions, and I'll try to answer them for you. So if you guys have any questions about the Utes next year or my opinion on somebody, I'd love to hear the questions. If you don't, though, I'll get out of here quicker, but if you do, I'd love to answer them for you. Tom, great insights. Thanks for the videos. Hey, man, love making them. Sorry you it sounds like you tuned in a little late today, Tom, but super glad to have you here either way, man, and I'm glad you keep coming back for the videos. I enjoyed making them for you, so keep tuning in. Yeah, well, and seriously, guys, any questions, feel free about the Utes, about the drafts. I know a lot about the NFL too. It's kind of, especially this time of year, it's tough to find college stuff. Omar, I know you said you were going to be in here tonight. I was looking forward to hearing from you, man. But I'm glad you got to catch the tail end of this. Maybe next time we'll get you in, man. But thanks for being here either way. If you guys have any questions about the NFL, about the combine, the draft, anything like that, feel free to drop them in. Those are my 2 big hobbies is NFL and college football. Like I was saying, college football, it's tough to find, too much content to make right now, especially for the Utes. If we had, stacks and stacks of players going pro this year, like some of the other teams that are going to have a bunch of, I would even do, if we had enough guys from the Utes that were going pro, in the first 3 rounds or whatever, I would do a 3-round mock draft for you guys and break it all down. That'd be fun. But it's just the only guy really going in that range from what I'm seeing is going to be Devin Lloyd. P-Dod, what team do I think Lloyd will fit into the best? I think that's a tough question. I think Devin Lloyd would fit really well on the Eagles, like I mentioned earlier. I think Devin Lloyd would fit any sort of multiple scheme, right? A creative defensive mind. Oh, you know what I just thought of that I hope doesn't happen, but would be such a good fit is the Patriots. Devin Lloyd on the Patriots would be fantastic. Like Belichick knows how to take a really talented guy that has a lot of different skills and find where to use him best, move him around the field, take chances, right? I think the Patriots have picked 23, if I'm right. If he goes to the Patriots, if I'm you guys, I'm checking off the box. Devin Lloyd's going to be, a Pro Bowler in a year or two. So that's honestly, I guess I'll give you one more because the Patriots, it's kind of an easy answer. Let me think. Who else could Devin Lloyd go to and be really good? Well, you know where he could be really good. I just don't know if they'd pick him as the Buccaneers. But maybe the Buccaneers are going to cut some of these old guys they have. They have real salary cap issues. Can you imagine Devin White right next to Devin Lloyd, side by side, roaming the field and just smashing people? That'd be a scary linebacker core. So I'd say maybe the Bucs, the Patriots. Let's give you one more. Who else would I say? I can see a team like the Lions, if he's there at the end of the first round. They need talent. They need good character guys. That's what Utah produces, really good character guys. So if the Lions at the end of the first round, I think it's pick 32. If Devin Lloyd was still there somehow, I think the Lions would be a great fit. He comes in there, becomes a leader right away, and he's done such a great job of it at Utah. So I wouldn't be surprised. But on that note, guys, I'll give you guys another minute or two. If you have any other questions, I'd love to answer them. While we're waiting, guys, like I said, I was in Orlando. Sorry we didn't do the live stream last week. I hope this week was fun for you guys. It was pretty fun for me. Obviously, the next few weeks are going to be tough content-wise. I'm going to try to think of videos for us to talk about and make for you guys. The Gabe Reid signing gave us something to talk about. And so did the combine. The draft is until the end of April. Obviously, maybe the first round, we could even do a live stream. That'd be pretty fun, huh? For the first round. Do you think Lloyd is the best? With no bias, do I think Lloyd is the best linebacker in the draft? I say for me, like no bias, Lloyd is tied for the best linebacker in the draft. It's him and Nakobe Dean. I really believe Nakobe Dean and Devin Lloyd are both monsters. If you guys watch the national championship and saw Nakobe Dean just tearing it up, you know what I'm talking about. But let me be clear. I think Devin Lloyd's right there. So that's where I'm at with that, P-Dog. But I just touching back on what I was saying, I think it'd be really fun to do a live stream of the first round. If you guys would be into that, I'd love to do that. We could just go each pick, just go down the night. Because I'm going to be watching it either way. Might as well watch it with you guys. And we could just go down all the picks of the first round. And then once Devin Lloyd's drafted, we'll kind of end it and we could recap where he goes. And then I was thinking probably after the draft, like when the whole draft's over and when undrafted free agency period's over, we could see where all the other Utes wind up, which teams they wind up on, kind of talk about where we think it's going to be a good fit, who we think will excel on their new team. I think that'd be pretty fun. But on that note, guys, let's go ahead and end it here. It's been so much fun talking to you guys tonight. Make sure you like the video. If you haven't already dropped a comment, make sure next week you guys comment in the chat. It's fun. Think of questions for next week and keep the conversation going. So, and then make sure you guys subscribe to the channel. Seriously, it's this channel is such a good time and it gives you guys alerts when I make videos and we can keep the Utah Utes Football Digest family growing here. So on that note, guys, I hope everybody has a great night and I'm out of here. Go Utes.